this one down for us. And guys, what did you make of your team and their performance in this game in Los Angeles?
I think it was an excellent, very win today. I think also the score line maybe it shows a different way because it was very difficult. I didn't expect Austria, to be honest, to defend so deep, so on their half pitch. Happy with Austria for Spain for everything we talk about. What Austria potentially could do in terms of moving the ball fast. I think Pedri was good on the moving the ball. Rodri was very dynamic. I mentioned how important was fullbacks today, not having, especially on the left, Nico Williams, and I think, of course, Cucurella 2 assists was unbelievable. And then, that goal with the 2 fullbacks involved was kind of a reflection of, I think, what the game plan was for Spain today versus a team that, again, I didn't expect to be so defending in their box.
Guys, Scott, is there one player in particular that stood out for you today in the performance?
Obviously, I think Cucurella again. It was sometimes was inside, Baena was outside. In terms of dictating when to go wide, when to put crosses, when to wait for the ball. If there was no people in the box, I think he read the game very well.
Guys, what do you think about Yamal? You think he still has another gear, right? I don't see him. I don't see him yet. Like when I watched him in the season for Barcelona, where you're like, wow, I haven't seen that moment yet for him. You think he's still loading, or what's the weight?
Yeah, I agree. He still has maybe a few more minutes to get in his legs in a way to show this maybe 6 speed that he normally has. We saw, details and moments where he went 1v1s and he managed to go. Austria always had the second player nearby, close by to, those 2v1s. But hopefully for next game, he'll be better. He's there. Unluckily, he didn't score that goal that Alaba just pulled out the line. But I think in terms of confidence, he'll be happy with his performance today.
Guys, is it also a fair observation to say that this Spain side still hasn't really been tested defensively yet? And when they do get tested defensively, what would you say would concern you?
I kind of agree, yeah. There's not been, I think today was tough. Again, could have been a test. We saw Arnautovic when he came out, was a threat in the box. I think it's probably one of the weak points that Spain might have in terms of defending crosses with Cubarsí and Laporte. Or when it's in the house, but they're not the toughest defenders when it comes to defend in front of the goal. Also losing balls in the halfway line. Rodri lost a couple of balls. Pedri also lost a few balls, which is not usual in these players. But yeah, let's see Portugal, Croatia. Depends on really different styles. But I think the important thing for Spain is that there is a win. Getting back, sensations and feelings in important players, and let's wait and see who is next.
One of those players that will prove to be important as the tournament goes on is Oyarzabal, who scores 2 goals today for Spain. He scored 2 against Saudi Arabia as well. He's up to 4 in the tournament. Might not get to Mbappe levels of goal scoring, but how does he execute his role in this Spanish national team?
I think today was again in a different role. He normally plays more a bit on the left side, but as a striker today.
Then the referee Espinasquez blows his whistle, and here we are for a place against Spain in the last 16 of the FIFA World Cup of 2026. Lovely evening in Toronto. It is a permanent grass pitch, should run true, should benefit the skillful players. Goodness me, we've got a fair few of those. Shaul Neves, Vitinha, Bruno Fernandes, Rafael Leao back in the side, and that's not counting the Croatian players as well.
Well, it looks like it could not be a better evening for football. Conditions, not much breeze. The sun's out on the pitch. It looks a lovely slick surface, and Portugal just stroking the ball about. But you want to see a bit more from Leao. I think him starting today is an important factor. He is in the team to take people on, be positive, be decisive, get crosses into the box for Ronaldo, and just add a bit more edge to Portugal's game. Nowhere near enough creativity, only 12 shots on target in the group stage, which, when you think of the teams they're playing, that's not a lot for a team of their quality.
Can they get the ball in here? Pedro Neto in Ronaldo's defence in this World Cup. He's not had a great deal of service from the width. That's why Leao has been brought in. Croatia step out, having blocked that and move it away down their left-hand side. Ball a little bit too long for Marin Pongracic of Fiorentina. So many of these Croatian players out there today have World Cup experience. Only Sucic and Budimir have not played in a World Cup finals beforehand in this starting lineup. This is Kovacic. Lots of interest in him this summer in the transfer market if Manchester City decide to part company. Pongracic's back then to the goalkeeper Livakovic, and if it comes to penalty shootouts, he's the king, isn't he? Remember 2022 when he saved 4 spot kicks in all. A throw into Croatia on the right-hand side. We've been playing 2 minutes on 5 Live from the BBC, and we do not have a goal for you yet. It's been a goal-laden tournament. 244 goals so far. Astonishing day yesterday, wasn't it? Purists down the line. This is a good run here for Croatia. Getting in behind on the edge of the penalty area was Vlasic. It's the first shot of the day from just inside the penalty area. It was low by Ante Budimir. Lacked a little bit of power, easily dealt with by Diogo Costa and that Portuguese got.
Yeah, first little chance created though. A little bit of space on the left-hand side in the cutback. Budimir's already shown he knows how to get on the end of a cross. He scored 1 goal right at the back post where he arrived right on cue, and it was decent movement from him, just didn't quite get the connection with his left foot.
Great scoring record in Spain, you know, 90 goals he scored for Mallorca. Just shy of 1 goal every 2 games. A good season for Osasuna, I should say, this season, moved from Mallorca. 19 goals he scored for them, and that was a struggling team as well. But it's Portugal who have the ball out to Nuno Mendes. He was really labouring later on against Colombia. It's a good ball down the line. Rafael Leao cuts it back. Bruno Fernandes. First shot is blocked. Second shot is blocked and cleared away. Goalkeeper got to the first. Defender blocked the second. Vitinha follows up. Ball squirts away towards the right-hand side. Pressure on Croatia early on.
Wow. I mean, if any warning sign is there for Portugal, they have to get the ball out to the left to Leao. He has just absolutely ripped Stanisic for pace, completely there. I think he had about 5 yards on him, Stanisic. The ball was slipped inside. Leao runs on the outside and just leaves him for dead. Really good play, cuts it straight back into the box, and Fernandes with the first time right foot effort.
João Neves, Vitinha will be happy that his PSG teammate is back in the side. This is Pedro Neto. He looks livelier than he has done in the World Cup, but Rafael Leao came on for the last 20 minutes against Colombia and lit up the place. Vitinha plays it back. Here's Renato Veiga. Now he's had a good World Cup, the tall Villarreal defender. Chelsea had him, didn't really use him. Let him go on loan to Juventus and on to Villarreal. Here's Leao looking for the run of Mendes, and it's all the way through for a goal kick. But it's a bright start here, Matt.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that left-hand side for Portugal, Mendes and Leao, it's got to happen there. I'm just looking at the replay. Stanisic just hasn't got the pace to cope with him. If they can do those little 1-2s and just feed the ball in between the Croatian centre-back and right-back, I think Leao's going to be favourite every time, with Fernandes arriving in the box. Maybe should do better there. Gets a decent contact with his right foot, but maybe could lift it high into the roof of the net.
Portugal appealing that there was a hand in there. I don't think there was. That's a foul, though, to Croatia. A challenge on João Neves. He was the last piece in the PSG jigsaw, I think, when they signed him from Benfica. He's been remarkable for the twice European champions.
He knows where the goal is as well, doesn't he, for a midfield player? He does so much great work in the middle of the park, the energy that he's got, but just arriving headers, little glancing touches, set pieces. He's a real threat. He's got great instinct in the opposition box.
Well, the end of the season could be spectacular for him if Portugal go all the way. The start of the season wasn't. Sent off in the World Club Cup against Chelsea, I seem to remember. Leao, great cross in, looking for Bruno Fernandes. Important header away. just inside that 6-yard area by Josip Šutalo, and Croatia under pressure.
Šutalo had to get his head on that. I think it was Ronaldo, wasn't it? In the middle of the box, maybe. Just arriving, that wasn't, it's Bruno Fernandes again, who's getting very far forward. He's in more of an advanced position than Ronaldo on both occasions when the ball's been wide on the left. He's certainly got a feeling that he wants to get in the box and get on the end of a cross himself.
Rafael Leao will take the corner kick, takes it short. And comes across deep to the far side of the penalty. Ronaldo climbed, couldn't get over it. And the shot is well over. In the end, from João Cancelo, whose place was under pressure today. But he's kept his spot at right back. He looked a little bit tired the other day. The cumulative effect of heat and altitude will count as the World Cup goes on, and that's why it's worrying for England having to go to Mexico at high altitude.
It's going to be a factor, isn't it? I mean, I was listening to someone talking earlier on 5 Live about the impact, and if you live there you don't notice it if you've been there long enough, but if you're turning up the day before, I think they're going 2 days before, aren't they, just to get used to the altitude, because it not only does it make your legs feel a bit lighter, the ball moves a bit differently as well in the air.
You played at altitude in 2010,
Yes.
didn't you, in South Africa?
Yeah, the biggest issue was the ball movement. And we had what was the ball again? I forget what it was called. I'm testing you here.
Oh,
Jambalaya. Jambalaya, that was the one. Anyway,
Jambalaya. Something like that. Anyway.
It had no seams. Anyway, so when that got hit flat, you know, like those knuckleballs that you see today, like a Marcus Rashford style free kick, that would move all over the place in the air in somewhere like Johannesburg.
Pedro Neto on the ball here for Portugal. It's a cute cross in, looking for Ronaldo, missed it in the air. So too did the goalkeeper Livakovic, who came, and it's gone all the way through, I think.
Well, Portugal looking the most threatening here by a mile. Croatia have had one little kind of skirmish into the box, but Portugal another cross, this time from the right-hand side, whipped in swinging with his left foot from Neto. Lovely flighted ball. Ronaldo arriving at the back post, and there's a couple of defenders here, and the goalkeeper's come in as well, and Ronaldo can't really get any touch on the ball. If he does, it's in the back of the net, but it was just crowded out in the air.
Jabulani, the ball.
Jabulani, there you go.
Jambalaya is sort of
a meal, is it? A dish?
Yeah, fish stew.
That's the one.
I think the Carpenters had a song about it back in the day. Maybe they didn't. Maybe that's just my imagination. World Cups do strange things to you. Listen to 5 Live. We've been playing here 9 minutes. It's Portugal 0, Croatia 0. It will be the most watched World Cup in terms of attendances in the stadia. It'll beat 1994 because the US, Canada and Mexico have such giant stadia in such numbers. Maturin has the ball for Croatia, drops it to the feet of Luka Modric. Horrible seeing him taken off in that opening game. I thought that would be the end of it, but he's come back okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit off the pace, wasn't he, at the start of that game, and then got himself into it, as we know, and he can control the midfield. It's just as you get to that 40 mark, just your reactions and judgment just gets a bit slower.
Vlasic with the cross in, looking for Budimir, who rose between 2 defenders, headed up and over the bar. Awkward one that for him, really, but he headed it over the bar. That's a couple of efforts he's had now.
Yeah, I'm just seeing Davor Suker sitting in the crowd with the FIFA delegates in a suit. What a player, what a finisher he was. Another player of a golden generation of Croatia, wasn't it, back in the late 90s?
Finished 3rd in their first World Cup in France in 1998.
Yeah. And he came to Arsenal as a centre-forward, and I played with him, and what a finisher he was. Any kind of shooting practice after training, wow. He was deadly.
Free kick here to Portugal, and Croatia don't like it at all. Modric has led the protest, 4 or 5 others trying to get near the referee. Modric can talk to him, he's the captain of the side, but Kovacic is in there giving his 6pence worth as well. There's a foul there on Nuno Mendes as he stretched.
Yeah. Just too quick. Nuno Mendes has the touch, sees Kovacic coming, just flicks the ball away with the outside of his left boot, and Kovacic just kicks through with his studs on the top of his foot. Referee pulling it back for a foul, but Nuno Mendes, not often you don't see him get there first, is it? He's so sharp with the way he moves and his reaction time.
Please stay with us on 5 Live. The BBC sounds for the 4 o'clock kick-off, Switzerland against Algeria. Chris Coles and Smooth Smith. The winners will play either Colombia or Ghana. They meet 2:30 Saturday morning to complete the round of 32. Lee Blakeman and Clinton Morrison in the chair there. So much sport all across 5 Live and Sports Extra. BBC Sounds throughout the weekend. I'll run you through what we've got when I get a little moment.
Is this a Ronaldo distance, do you reckon?
Will we be seeing the Sioux?
It is left-hand side of the box, probably 25 yards out. Referee's just lining the wall up, getting plenty of distance, but Ronaldo's got that typical wide leg pose.
Ronaldo comes forward, strikes it, hits the wall. Thundered into someone's midriff in the wall. He's decked someone who's gone down. I can't see who it is. I think that is Marin Pongracic who's gone down.
I don't think it was the midriff either.
No, he's caught him in the unmentionables, I think.
Yeah, as he jumps.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah. And as he did it, Pongracic, he puffed out his cheeks.
I mean, you've got to jump with your hands in that area, haven't you?
Yeah.
I think everyone else in the wall had the hands in the right position. He had them up in the air and he's paid the price.
Always quite amusing, isn't it? Unless it's you. And then literally is. Yeah. Tears to the eyes. This is Vega. Back to him. No, they bypass him actually. The ball by Ruben Diaz. A very interesting conversation with a couple of supporters the other day. I was complaining why Tuchel didn't bring Diaz for England. I tried to explain to him.
There's one kind of glaring reason.
Yeah.
Did you see that there as well with Leao against Stanisic again? If there is any space out on the Portuguese left-hand side, Stanisic at right back for Croatia cannot deal with Leao's pace. They've got to try and almost drag players out of that area, Portugal, and leave it open and exposed. So when they feed it into Leao, he can just go at him 1v1. He's got the beating of him every time.
Kovacic chops it away to Šutala. Now here is Stanisic, Bayern Munich player on that Croatian right. Plays it to his left foot, then cuts it away high, looking for a big Ante Budimir, the 6'3" centre forward. Couldn't win in the air. Croatia have it back again. Modric pops a lovely ball, so easy. But it looks so easy, that ball out to Martin Batshuayi.
The weight of pass from that side foot lift, just perfect weight out wide to the left-hand side.
Crossfield ball for Croatia. That's going to run away though from Nikola Vlasic, as Modric tried a big quarterback-type pass from the halfway line, arced it away towards the far side. Stays 0-0 with 14 minutes gone. Could be a long night if you're listening back in the UK. Here's Vega. Nelson played for Cape Verde. Ruben Diaz. Has it back again, chips long down the right-hand side, and across to cover and concede a corner was Marin Pongracic.
It's a strange header. Just having a bit of an inquest now as to how that's gone out for a corner. As he comes across from the centre-back position, he's got to boom that header out wide, give a throw-in away, but he's not convincing the way he tacks the ball. He doesn't get the contact, and it just skims off his head and goes out for a Portuguese corner that they're now just setting up with Nuno Mendes looking like he's going to take it with his left foot in swinging.
Ronaldo get his World Cup knockout goal. 8 games played, 6 starts in the knockouts, no goals. No one has played more in terms of strikers without scoring. In comes that corner kick, aimed to the far post there, a good header, but it flew over from Vega out from the back.
Should do better. I think he knows it. He's laying on the floor, head in hands, now looking up to the skies. He's running back to the centre-back position because he gets the contact here and should score. No doubt about it for me. Gets up well, really unchallenged, but it's a bit of a flustered header. Doesn't really keep his eye on the ball, doesn't punch it down towards the ground. If he heads it down, it's in the back of the net. Could be 1-0 Portugal.
A yellow card here against who's that he's been cautioned?
Ruben Diaz, I think, just for...
He's led with his arm.
I'm not too sure he does that much wrong here.
Ooh. Didn't do anything wrong, did he, really?
He's just got eyes on the ball. He lifts his left arm up. I mean, he's literally complaining to the referee to say, I'm just lifting my left arm up to protect myself. He's only watching the ball. Croatian player just bumps right into his elbow, and there's your yellow card, and that's not good news for Ruben Diaz in that centre-back position. You've got to be really careful now.
Again, if you have just joined us, breaking news this evening that Cristiano Ronaldo will leave international football when Portugal leave this World Cup. It's reported that his sister has reported that on a TV station, that he's having his last dance and will retire from all football within a couple of years. It's a free kick for Croatia. Had a Sucic was caught.
This is an interesting situation for Croatia. I mean, they haven't had a lot of attempts into the Portuguese box, probably only one in the opening 17 minutes, and they've now got an opportunity with Modric with his right foot on the right-hand side of the pitch just to put a top-class delivery into the box. They've got some big players that can go and attack it, Croatia.
Jamelia Hawk-faced Luka Modric with a delightful cross into the middle, cleared away. Rafael Leao with a little touch inside, asking too much with the ball out wide to him from Pedro Neto, looking for the return. It's going to be a throw to Portugal on their right. 0-0 on 5 Live with 18 minutes gone in the game.
You mentioned the lack of knockout goals for Ronaldo a moment ago. Would you say that's the biggest difference that people see between him and Messi? That's what swings or sways people towards Messi more than him? It's quite a big factor, isn't it?
Yeah, I just think people perceive Messi as the more likeable individual without even meeting him, of course. I think that's largely PR, and also he's won a World Cup. Ronaldo hasn't.
Persona on the pitch is a
persona on the
factor.
pitch. Yeah. Ronaldo had the European success, but then Messi won a Copa Americas.
Yeah. But the World Cup success is huge, isn't it, in terms of swaying that debate.
And he's had a barnstorming World Cup.
Yeah.
Messi would be a candidate for player of the tournament, along with Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham, perhaps, certainly one or two others. Kylian Mbappe, of course.
Yeah.
I think Vitinha needs to be mentioned in there somewhere along the line in the mix. He's had a wonderful World Cup.
Elise could be in there as well.
Oh, he'd get it for me. I think he's been brilliant.
Very good.
And there have been other cameo. Quinones on the left for Mexico has been terrific. He'd be a real danger for England, especially with the right-back situation. What do you make of that, Matt, as a former England international? Come to you on that in a moment while we have a break in play. Ruben Diaz has it now. We'll have that break in play for the hydration break.
Let's save a bit for that, yeah?
Yeah, I'll leave you talking during the hydration break. I'm going for my own hydration break. Apparently the King Charles Arms is still open down the road.
Have to be quick.
Throw then to be taken on the right fullback position for Croatia. Game just lulled a little bit. It must irk Portugal as well that in recent years Croatia have the better World Cup record. Portugal was third in 1966 when they were favourites to win the tournament that England won. And Benfica players at the time. Portugal have a Chalcansar, centre circle, trotting forward, pink boots, short sleeve, of course, in this weather. Tried to stroke the pass out wide to the right-hand touchline. Purists got in with the challenge. Had those 18 months at Tottenham where Spurs fans didn't see the best of him. He had the ACL injury, really hampered him there, but he's been a wonderful player over the years. This is his 8th major. He scored in 5 of them. Portugal in possession, 0-0. We've been playing 20 minutes. Here's little Vitinha, the metronome. And to his right-hand side, as he is so often for PSG, João Neves. To the right touchline, 40 yards away is Pedro Neto. Settles on it. Has support now from João Cancelo. Darts one way, goes the other, pushes it back to his left foot, gets the cross in, comes off Luka Modric. And just about kept it in before he clears it away. He's come back to the pale green mottled shirts of Croatia, of Portugal, I should say. Nuno Mendes. Vitinha again. Bruno Fernandes to his right-hand side. Had to stretch a little bit. Now looking around. Wristband on his left arm. To João Cancelo again. Did his foot with Barcelona on loan in the season just gone by. Still Portugal try and build. Ruben Dias to Vitinha, who's now 10 yards to the left of centre. And he finds Rafael Leao. No way past him. That's good full-back play. And it will be cleared away now on the right-hand side for Croatia, but not too far. They're not holding the ball up at all well here, Matt.
No, well, that was Vlasic, the high, wide right Croatian player who was dropping back, doing that great full-back defensive work, and that just tells you how deep he is. I don't think Stanisic really fancies those 1v1s with Leao and is staying very narrow, very deep. But like you say, when they break forward, he's the player dribbling with the ball, so there's no one in front of him. They're not able to keep a hold of it at the moment.
Rafael Leao looks bright. Nice little bit of trickery. Ronaldo coming deep, 10 yards outside the penalty area. Nuno Mendes with the cross in there between defenders. Diving header away by Pongracic. Good defending, facing his own goal because he knew someone was behind him, and that someone was Pedro Neto.
That's a top-class delivery, no doubt about it. Left-footed. Mendes just gets it, thinks, I'm going to whip this in. It's brilliant. There's no centre-forward in the box, though, Jonathan. No number 9 really in there, in where it hurts. You know, that's where your centre-forward should be, to nod that in the back of the net. It's just a brilliant delivery from Mendes.
Applause from the eminently likeable Roberto Martinez. And a smile on his face. He appreciated the quality of the ball and the defending, I would imagine. Here comes the corner from Nuno Mendes' left foot into the penalty, a far side, and it's skied as Diaz arrived. Couldn't really get over the ball, and it lobbed over the bar. It's a goal kick to Croatia. The hydration break comes our way. Don't forget, later this morning, Rick and Lloyd's World Cup Diary from LA, the Football Daily podcast. Oh, next week, by the way, there's another episode of the Commentators View, so you can get your World Cup questions and messages in for John Murray, Ian Dennis and Ali Bruce Ball on the email to tcv@bbc.co.uk, or messages and voice notes to the Football Daily WhatsApp number. That's 0800 289 369. If you can get hold of me, I'll give you some real stories about John Murray, Ian Dennis and Ali Bruce Ball that you won't ever hear on the Commentators View. 12 o'clock World Cup chat with Steve Crossman. He's Aspilicueta, he's been good on the telly. I think Rachel Corsi, always good value. And then Wimbledon's on. Gigi Salmon and Claire McDonald. Wimbledon starts 1 o'clock through to 6:30, I think it is. Novak Djokovic is first up on centre court. We've got more games in the evening. This evening, Australia, Egypt. Eddie Barber and Chris Sutton. That's also on BBC One. The winners will play the winners of Argentina, Cape Verde, and Dennis and James McFadden there. The sports section, we've got the Grand Prix Practice 1. Formula 1 Grand Prix Practice 1, and then the sprint qualifying a little bit later on the afternoon. That's about 4:25. Sports Extra 2 on BBC Sounds, Women's 2020 Blast, the Blaze against Surrey, and the Men's T20 Blast, Notts Outlaws against Lancashire Lightning. And Sports Extra 3 on BBC Sounds, Women's T20 Blast, Glamorgan Middlesex, and the Men's T20 Blast, Yorkshire against Durham Cricket. And well done to the England women for getting through to the final. Super performance. And out there in the hydration break, which we know this is all about now, it's an advertising break, and it's also a chance for the coaches to talk to their players, and that's what's going on now, Matt.
The last thing it is a hydration break, isn't it? Really, it's a mini team meeting midway through the half, and I'm not sure about it, to be honest, because it is quite significant, isn't it? I mean, I looked at Thomas Tuchel yesterday in the second half hydration break, really got on the pitch and started to liven up the players, really put himself across in that moment. And it was a big moment for England, because that final quarter of the game, we went on to to win the match, and you think that that's quite an advantage, isn't it, that you can have that. I know it's the same for every team, so you accept it, but it's quite a significant change.
Sun gleaming down on the CN Tower. Was the tallest freestanding structure in the world until 2007. Vitinha's having a long chat here with Cristiano Ronaldo. So too Nuno Mendes got his arm on Cristiano Ronaldo. I just wonder, you know, after all the football he's played, whether the emotion of the whole day, the Jota business, his retirement announcement, if it is true, has got to him in these opening moments.
What have you thought of his facial expression?
I think he looks very, very tense.
Yeah, like you mentioned it in the tunnel, start of the game. And I think Modric was a little bit similar, but I've not seen Ronaldo have a kind of relaxed facial expression yet in this game. Normally, when he's in that relaxed but in the zone, that's where you see great things from the great player.
Croatia, now this looks tidy as they try and burst through the middle. Petar Sucic goes down, no free kick given. The ball breaks away to Baturina. His shot is blocked on the edge of the penalty area. Croatia follow it up, push the ball out to Ivan Perisic. Perisic switches to his right foot, gets across, and it's scooped away by Vitinha. Back to the halfway line, and Pongracic tidies up and finds his goalkeeper, Dominik Livakovic, who is in bright, fluorescent, burns your eyes out pink today. It is so powerfully pink. It's like the pink your grandmother would wear lipstick when you used to go and visit her on a Sunday afternoon, and she'd then try and clean your face by spitting into a piece of tissue with lipstick on it. You used to have to it's disgusting, rub on your face.
Yeah. You must have a shirt that colour in the wardrobe at home, no?
Yes, well, and the thong. And Croatia have possession. I'll leave you with that thought for once. Not pleasant, eh?
Scar me with that thought.
Yeah, why did grandmothers do that? It's just borderline disgraceful.
Yeah.
Scars can scar you for life. 0-0 here anyway on 5 Live.
I like the song.
Croatia, all in blue. Pongracic's long. Oh, that's a lovely ball out wide to the right-hand side. Vlasic's going to tap that side now. He's got a rival on the edge of the penalty area in Budimir, and the flag goes up. Free kick, offside.
Yeah, must have been a fraction. I mean, I couldn't call it because the ball kind of went all the way through the pitch, but he must have gone slightly too early, Vlasic. Yeah, you can see there's 2 Croatian players offside. That the assistant got it bang on.
Didn't have his best time at West Ham, did he, Vlasic?
No.
Went to Torino. 9 goals for them this year. In possession, Portugal, just inside their own half. 0-0 on 5 Live, BBC Sounds, 29 minutes gone. Most eventful thing of the game so far. It's the yellow card for Diaz. Fernandes, Bruno Fernandes had a couple of efforts blocked in a matter of moments. The first one saved, the other one deflected. That's a lovely ball away though to João Cancelo, arrival on the right hand side, bends the cross in towards the far post. Ronaldo was coming in, couldn't get a touch.
Wow, that is a close shave for Croatia. Brilliant crossfield passes. That, and then Mendes again with a left-footed crossfield pass from left-back position into Cancelo, the other fullback who's really advanced up the right-hand side. He cuts inside, cross with the left foot, Fernandes across the face, and then Ronaldo arriving nearer the back post and looking to the sky now, wondering how he hasn't just made any kind of contact with the ball.
That was Nuno Mendes in PSG frame of mind. He does that for his club all season long, switches it to Achraf Hakimi coming in from the right.
It's a super pass.
0-0 though with half an hour played. Rafael Leao down that far side. Seen off though by Nikola Vlasic. He's having to do a lot of doubling up.
He's having to double up, and I mean he's really forcing them back. So Leao's having the impact in terms of he's attracting 2 players over to the far side, but they're not really utilising the space that must leave. I don't think either team really moving the ball quickly, Jonathan, are they, with any real intent? I mean, I look at the quality Portugal have, and maybe it's a little thing of this World Cup as well, just like teams really driving the tempo and moving the ball quickly. It can be a little bit slow at times. Like now, it's just, you know, Croatia has sat in, Portugal have the ball, they're moving it about a little bit, but it's quite slow tempo.
Never been beaten in competitive football by Croatia. Portugal, they've won 5 and drew 0-0 in the Nations League. That was the most recent encounter. That was November 2024. Here's Ruben Diaz. In support is Renato Vega. He's only 22 still. Is Vega comes up 23 next month. I wonder if he'll dip his toes into English football again. Plenty of time on his hand. He's valued at 40 million. His contract's got another 4 years on it. This is Ruben Diaz. Portugal trying to keep possession. They're giving it away. Here's Modric, just touches it back to Ivan Perisic. How many games have they played together? And Perisic, you know, 10 goals and 9 assists at major competitions since 2012.
It's phenomenal. 2018, he was at his peak, wasn't he? I mean, he had a brilliant tournament in Russia, where Croatia were so strong and nearly went all the way.
So England off in the semi-final. This is a strong run by Nuno Mendes. Ronaldo is 20 yards outside the penalty area to pick up the ball, and he finds Leao. Ronaldo trots the edge of the penalty area elusively. Took up a good position in there, actually. But he wasn't found. Now it's back to Ruben Diaz in the sunshine. Halfway inside the Croatian half. Long ball towards the far side of the penalty. It's cut back by Bruno Fernandes. And it goes to Nuno Mendes off the chest of João Neves. And wide towards Bruno Fernandes. Gets a low-driven crossing, parried by the goalkeeper. Back it comes into the feet of João Neves. You flicked it. There was a defender there. Clears it away for a corner. Good football by Portugal. 0-0.
Yeah, if anyone's going to make a breakthrough, it's going to be Portugal. They're asking all the questions. It's Bruno Fernandes again on the left-hand side. He fires across it. It takes a deflection. Goalkeeper has to get down and just deal with it. It pops back out, and then it's João Neves arriving in the box with the flick. But I'd have to say the midfield players of Portugal getting in the box brilliantly at the moment.
Corner kick for Portugal, comes swinging from the right-hand side of the Croatian defence. Rafael Leao doesn't swing and he takes it short. Now here's Nuno Mendes, just outside the box, checks to his right foot. He's gone for goal with it, cannoned it off a blue-shirted Croatian defender. Now they will look to break Croatia in towards the centre circle. Martin Baturina went down, no free kick given. Picks himself up. And on we go.
There's Pedro Neto with the recovery run there. Did well, actually, dropped back in as really good forward pass from Croatia on the breakaway. Baturina with the ball, and Neto recovers in, and he just kind of kicks through the ball and the player at the same time. Referee right on top of it, just waves it away like the tackle was okay. But looking at the replay, he certainly kicks through the kind of heel of Baturina before getting the ball, Neto. In my book, that's a foul.
The referee took Roberto Martinez's first game in charge of Portugal. It was against Liechtenstein. They won it by 4-0 in March 2023. This might be the last game for Roberto Martinez as Portuguese manager. It's 0-0 at the moment. They've been the better side, but they can't find a breakthrough. And this massive weekend of World Cup and sporting action for you. Colombia, Ghana on Saturday morning. Canada, Morocco. First match in the last 16. France, Paraguay, full commentary on Saturday evening. British Grand Prix sprint race, Rugby Union Nations Championship as well. South Africa, England, Johannesburg. That's Saturday at about 4:40. And have it all for you here. Nuno Mendes steps into the centre circle, opens his body, plays a left foot curling pass away towards the left-hand touch, and it drops in too short, doesn't make the mark, but now it does come out to Rafael Leao. He didn't have a great season for Milan, his fewest goals for 6 seasons, still double figures, but he was jeered. Not a happy time for him. Roberto Martinez says he's simply one of the best in the world.
I mean, he's had that kind of noise around him for a couple of seasons now, hasn't he? But hasn't really delivered consistently, or maybe stepped into that next stage of his career where he's really going to offer that up week in, week out. I think that's been the problem with Rafael Leao. I know Chelsea were having a good look at him, and some big clubs probably 18 months ago.
When he went to Milan when he was very young, I think he was 16, he'd already won the League Cup in Portugal by then. He was a starlet at the time. Here's Vitinha, genuine star on the world stage. 0-0 at this very moment in time, that Portugal against Croatia, with 9 minutes left in an industrious first half. Ruben Diaz cuts the ball into the centre-forward position. Ronaldo dropping short, cushions it, lays it back to the heart of midfield. And there's a free kick given for a foul on Bruno Fernandes.
I think that's fortunate.
Sucic is pleading his innocence, yeah. You can see why.
Yeah, he comes back to win the ball in midfield, steps across. Well, perhaps he does kick into the side of Bruno Fernandes' knee a little bit, but Bruno Fernandes not shy in going down and taking the contact.
And there's a word with the Croatian player. Always quick with the word is Bruno Fernandes, Footballer of the Year. He comes across from the right-hand side for Portugal, but it was far too far away from Cristiano Ronaldo. The cross from João Cancelo. And in the World Cup finals in Qatar, he played 4 of the qualifiers. He's got a couple of goals actually in there. And now Croatia look for the furthest forward man in blue, and that man was Luka Modric.
He wasn't going to outpace Mendes at left back, was he? As he gets back in and wins the ball. But it's been a similar kind of story for Portugal, hasn't it, of their World Cup campaign. 70% of the ball they've had in this first half, and only 1 shot on target so far. Just tells you they're getting into nearly areas and then not quite delivering in front of goal.
Could be it then for Ronaldo today. Again, if you've just joined us, it is a massive story. Reports on social media suggesting that his sister has said that he is at his last dance and will retire from international football when Portugal leave World Cup 2026. And by the way, if you are 23 years old or younger, you will never have known anything else than Cristiano Ronaldo in a Portuguese side. 23 years he's been in this team.
Unbelievable, isn't it? 6 World Cups.
Yeah.
I mean, that in itself, how do you get yourself to 6 World Cups? One's an achievement, but 6 is just incredible.
Pedro Neto now on the right-hand touchline for Portugal. Coming to get across and then rolls it backward of square. Vitinha plumb dead centre, strokes the pass to Nuno Mendes, who's actually been able to come forward at will on that left-hand side quite dangerously. Renato Vega adding numbers now. He plods forward for Croatia on a run from left to right, back to Diaz and out to the right-hand touchline again, because Croatia denying them any real space, and Ronaldo, as we know, is not the most mobile in these World Cup finals. They might have to make a decision on him in the second half if it continues like this. But Bruno Fernandes is pressurising down that Portuguese left-hand side, and he's forced a corner kick off Josip Stanisic.
I mean, you think that Pongracic and Sutalo, they're not the most mobile of centre-backs, the 2 Croatians, and having a player that's really going to stretch the movement in the box, sharp drop into feet, and really try and drag them out of position. At the moment, they're quite happy sat in the box and just defending that area.
Corner kick to Portugal. The 4th of the game. The first half draws on. It's bending high into the air, glanced through that penalty area and away towards another corner kick for Portugal, this time on the right-hand side. Nick Livakovic looks around his penalty area, plays at Fenerbahce. Now he's made his name at Dinamo Zagreb, where he won those 6 league titles. Rafael Leao takes a short corner kick. Bruno Fernandes touches it on the edge of the penalty area. Can they get a shot away from there? João Cancelo played it out wide. In comes the cross, headed away for Croatia from just outside their 6-yard area by Pongracic. It's still 0-0. It's just beginning to meander now.
Yeah. Nuno Mendes has slipped 2 or 3 lovely left-footed crosses into the box. Portugal yet to get a head or a foot or any kind of body part on any of them.
Big crowd around about the 44,300 capacity for these World Cups. 17,000 temporary seats added to the north and south stands. Very steep, the scaffolded stands. This is the stadium where it seems to have a floating roof on one end. It's very curious.
It's strange to look at, isn't it?
Yeah.
And very steep and very open.
And this is an open Croatia attack out wide to the right. So Rafael Leao did really well covering back for Portugal. But Croatia still have possession. 5 yards outside the penalty area. It's out to Ivan Perisic. Trying to beat his man. He's not going to do that. Not at his age. Not when he's taken on Pedro Neto. But in support is Kovacic. Kovacic to Modric. 72 years between them. And driving on from midfield is Perisic. They think they should have had a free kick there, Croatia. Referee waves it away, and Portugal now look to counter. Rafael Leao 0-0 down that left-hand side. Ronaldo is in support out wide. There'll be no one in the centre-forward position at all. Walking place, the boos are because neutrals and the fans in the crowd think that should have been a free kick.
Yeah, I mean, it looked a free kick. My first instinct was that he's been fouled. I mean, the referee was very close to the action, and sometimes a centre forward can kind of lean into a player and then dive or fall over to make it look really convincing. And that's the only thing I can think of, that the referees just felt that that was the action and it wasn't worthy of a free kick. But for me, it looked like Ruben Diaz just wrestled him to the floor there.
Rafael Leao on that left-hand side. Then rolls inside. Back to the centre-half, Renato Vega, with a big hair. And to his right is Diaz, up to Ronaldo. A lovely little flick off to Bruno Fernandes. When they combine, Portugal are at their best. Martin Baturina carried it to the centre circle, and now Croatia right at the end of the first half. A couple of minutes to go. Attack with menace. Mateo Kovacic has a runner out wide to his left-hand side. It's Martin Baturina. Settles on it. Where's this going? Gets a little chip into the box. Wasn't a good ball. And it's headed away by João Cancelo. Stadium swathed in red. Difficult to tell whether they're all Portuguese fans, because this is the main home of Canada, their men's football team, and they're red, of course, and the stands themselves are draped in red. But certainly the Portuguese fans seem to be outnumbering those from Croatia. Little pockets of blue-clad supporters.
Yeah, it does look like a home fixture for Portugal, doesn't it? You know, the optics of it, and like you say, the colours of the stadium. But I think Croatia will be relatively happy with the way this first half. I know they've been under pressure a lot and not had that much of the ball, but you just feel they're going to create a really good goal-scoring opportunity at some point, this Croatian team. They've got too much talent to not create a chance, and they've just shown they've got the possibility of being a little bit more clinical, I would say, than Portugal, and they might just take that chance.
Joined in with Matthew Upson again on 5 Live tonight on the BBC. We're into the last minute. Roberto Martinez, we're seeing pictures of him clenching his teeth down there with his slate grey suit on as it's brought down by Nuno Mendes. Nice chest trap. Vitinha, space, can turn to his right hand side, runs into space, tried to chop it to Ronaldo. It's deflected back and cleared away. Bit of agriculturally by Pongracic, goes straight to one of the green stripy Portuguese shirts, sort of aquamarine, isn't it, that colour? I think out wide. You're a fashionista, Matthew. Aquamarine.
I'm still trying to get over the pink thumb, to be honest.
And if you weren't listening in earlier, that will sound very, very random. There is a reason for it, but let's not go down that route again. Is Nuno Mendes to the left touchline. Rafael Leao goes up through the gears, checks back again. Now goes once more to take on Josip Stanisic. He's got the beating of him.
Yeah.
Why didn't he go?
I don't know. Just be positive, be aggressive, see the space. But he twice in this game, Leao, has left Stanisic for dead. He's backing off so far and allowing him the space because he doesn't want to get tight to him, because he's going to get cooked in behind. And I just want to see Leao. And also, you kind of want to see Portugal also get away from that area, leave that area exposed. Move the ball, and then when you switch that out to Leao, he's got space to get at him. You know, that it's comfortable for Portugal if they can get bodies in there and everything's nice and close. It just protects that side of the field.
Two very well drilled and coached teams, but we're seeing the the countries who are allowing more freedom for their players to express themselves really benefiting. France, for example, Spain today were a joy to behold. In comes across, dangerous towards the far post, looking in there for Chao. Rafael Leao came and volleyed it over.
Big chance. Slaps the ground with his hand in frustration because he knows he can do better here. The ball gets headed up in the air as a cross comes in. He's arriving from the left wing, Leao, and he just shapes his body onto his right foot, gets his knee up high, looking to strike the ball, and times it all wrong, gets underneath it and just kind of slices it up in the air. Really good opportunity to hit the target.
Ronaldo in the middle slapped his hands on his thighs, unhappy with the quality of the ball in for him. And you were talking about body language on the pitch earlier, comparing him with Messi. You rarely see that from Messi. And when they got over their Copa America hoodoo, it was an inspirational speech by Messi in the dressing room before that tournament that turned the tide for his country at Copa Americas, and also I think in the perception of him nationally, because he wasn't always a favourite, you know, in Argentina. He was seen as the boy who went away to play outside of Argentina.
Yeah, which was frowned upon a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe.
And
he had to win them over.
Yeah, and boy has he done that, by the way. 0-0 on 5 Live, and we've had 2 minutes of the allocated for. Roberto Martinez, a fierce figure down there we're seeing on our TV screens, barking away instructions. Where would he go if he is to leave this job? Managed Belgium from 16 to 22, Everton and Wigan and Swansea before that. Wigan to their FA Cup glory. It's going to be a free kick to Croatia for a foul down below us on this near touchline.
He gives a few fouls away, doesn't he? Ruben Diaz, very keen to get to the ball there. Doesn't need to get that tight to Budimir. He's quite a big player, likes to hold it up. Diaz very competitive in the air and likes to be physical, but he's on a yellow card and he's made 1 or 2 other fouls quite high up near the halfway line. He's got to be a little bit careful.
Were you a centre-half who liked that, liked the contact with your centre-forward, liked to know you were that touch tight to him?
I think every centre-half likes that. I think the players that kind of drift off and you don't know they're in the game, they're the ones that really hurt you. You can come off the field and feel like you've not had a game, but been beaten 2-0. You know, they're the centre-forwards that are difficult to play against. I think every centre-back likes to touch and feel and be close to their opponent.
Susic tried a ball out wide on a diagonal for Croatia, didn't come out to Perisic on the left-hand side. He's made a forward burst again, but Kovacic goes safe to Luka Modric. Little Luka Modric with that familiar lank, fairish hair. To his left-hand side is the burlier, chunkier Mateo Kovacic from Austria, actually. He comes from Linz in Austria. One of the many footballers in this World Cup representing countries to which they had to emigrate. And the half-time whistle blows here then. With no goals on the scoreboard. Is it the farewell appearance of Luka Modric? Is it the farewell appearance of Cristiano Ronaldo? Some great names out there. Not a great deal of great football, Matt. No goals.
No, I mean, Portugal really dominating the game. Possession-wise, probably close to 70% of the ball. Creating half chances, getting in good crossing positions, but very similar story to the rest of this World Cup for them, in not a lot of cutting edge in front of goal, and it's a problem because this Croatian team has the experience to soak that up. They quite enjoy soaking it up, in fact, and they're more than capable of taking an opportunity themselves. So it could be a dangerous second half for Portugal here.
First time Portugal have been involved in a goalless first half in a World Cup knockout match since the 2010 round of 16 encounter against Spain. I did that game. I was so looking forward to it. Did it with Mick McCarthy. It was so disappointing that day. Let's hope for better to come in the second half, which will hand you over to the latest BBC News.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The voice of the UK and the FIFA World Cup 2026.
With the 5 Live News, I'm Al Tansley. 2 15-year-old boys who avoided a custodial sentence for raping 2 girls in Fordingbridge in Hampshire will now serve 4 years in detention. Both boys were convicted of multiple sexual offences against the 2 victims. The Court of Appeal ruled their original sentences were unduly lenient. The Prime Minister has formally apologised for the historical practice of forced adoption, where tens of thousands of babies were taken from unmarried mothers in the decades after the Second World War. Sir Keir Starmer called the policy a stain on our history. A man trapped under rubble for more than a week in Venezuela has been pulled out alive after a rescue operation which lasted more than 100 hours. A team of people from 7 countries saved Hernan Gil, a 43-year-old security guard in the state of La Guaira. And unconfirmed reports in US media suggest Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce may have already married in a private ceremony. Preparations are underway in New York, where a dinner with celebrity guests is expected to take place tonight. With the sport, here's Shabnam Yunus-Jewel.
Spain are through to the World Cup last 16 after cruising past Austria 3-0. Mikel Oyarzabal scored twice and Tottenham right-back Pedro Porro was on target too with his first international goal. Now, Spain last won a knockout match at the tournament when they became world champions back in 2010 and will next face either Portugal or Croatia. Cricket and England have reached the Women's T20 World Cup final after beating South Africa by 40 runs. They had to recover from 23 for 3 thanks to a superb innings by captain Nat Sciver-Brunt and Heather Knight, sharing a partnership of 133 from 90 balls. And then they bowled brilliantly to put their place in Sunday's final against Australia. Arthur Ferry is the only British player to reach round 3 at Wimbledon after beating Finland's Otto Virtanen. Jan Schowinski, Jacob Fernley and Katie Swan all lost their second round matches. Meanwhile, defending women's champion Iga Swiatek made it through alongside second seeds Elena Rybakina and Alexander Zverev. And there was an emotional victory for 35-year-old Grigor Dimitrov, who knocked out 15th seed Jakub Menchik.
This is Johnny Ianson
on BBC Radio 5 Live.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Yes, hello, good morning. 8 minutes to 1, half-time at the Toronto Stadium. Portugal 0, Croatia 0. We'll be back with Jonathan and Matt for the second half shortly. We're just going to take this moment, though, to look at some of the main stories of the day. And we start with this one, the decision not to jail 3 teenage boys convicted of raping 2 teenage girls in separate attacks caused public outcry earlier this year. Well, today, for 2 of those boys, that decision was overturned. Following an intervention by the Attorney General, 3 High Court judges sentenced the teenagers to 4 years detention. Here's Lady Chief Justice Baroness Carr.
We concluded that the judge had erred in his assessment of the seriousness of the offences. In particular, we found that he had failed to take sufficiently into account the ages and vulnerabilities of the complainants and the psychological effect upon them, which we considered to be severe. The humiliation and the degradation resulting from the filming and the group offending, the number of individual offences, and in respect of X and Y, the fact that there were 2 separate incidents. We found that for each child, the offences passed the custody threshold.
Well, earlier I spoke to Wendy Joseph KC, a former judge at the Old Bailey, about the details of the sentencing.
I haven't been able to see exactly what the conditions will be. And with children, there are different ways in which you could deal with it. But I think that the Lady Chief Justice made it absolutely clear to the children at the time she was passing the sentences that they will not be in detention for the entire period of 4 years. So they will certainly be released at a point, and then there'll be all sorts of conditions on the way in which they behave and conduct themselves once they are released.
Right.
But I think we're going to have to study the actual released document in order to understand the full ramifications.
Right.
But what is clear is that 2 of the 3 are now in detention.
Were you surprised at the original sentence being quashed and the imposition of this 4-year detention?
No. I mean, no one who works in the field, no one who understands the law would, I think, have been surprised at that.
With that then, do you think that the original trial judge, Nicholas Rowland, didn't understand the law? Because there were many people scratching their heads and outraged at that initial decision. You've said yourself there that nobody's surprised now that the appeal was successful. So did the original judge just not understand this case properly?
I think he understood it, Johnny. I think he just he got it wrong. And, you know, from time to time, judges do. If we didn't, we wouldn't need a court of appeal. We have a court of appeal to put things right. I can explain how he got it wrong, if you like.
Yeah, please do.
So, when you're dealing with children, the law says when you're dealing with child defendants, because here we're dealing with child victims as well, but when a judge is sentencing a child defendant, the law requires that you look first of all at the child's welfare, and you look also and primarily at how to ensure that a child is rehabilitated and doesn't offend again. That's the principle. But, and that's what the judge was applying. But if you'd gone on to read the rest of the directions that apply, the rest of the guidelines that apply, it goes on to say, big but, you've got to weigh that against the other side of the coin. The other side of the coin is the seriousness of the offences and the effect that it has upon the victims of the offences. And what the Court of Appeal was saying today, in the clearest possible terms, is these offences were very, very grave. We're not just talking about a rape. We're talking about rape on two separate victims, multiple rapes on each of those victims. We're talking about degradation and humiliation. We're talking about a whole package, the filming of it, a whole package that makes this very, very serious. So you'd start off with the principle that you try to put the defendant children's interests first, but before you act upon that, you've got to balance it against the gravity of the offences and the victims and the effect on the victims. And that's the bit that he seems to have got wrong. There's no other way of putting it.
That is Wendy Joseph, KC, former judge at the Old Bailey. Now, pubs in England and Wales will be allowed to stay open until 5 a.m. on Monday, meaning you can watch England's full round of 16 match against Mexico, which starts at 1 a.m. our UK time. Simon Delaney, the landlord of the Furbank pub in Wythenshawe, Manchester, has unsurprisingly welcomed the news.
Really, really happy that we can open.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. It is a big thing. I'll be honest with you, I was pretty savvy. I'd already applied for the license, and so I was going to be open anyway.
Right.
But I think what it does now, it allows people who can go to their regular pub, their local pub, rather than having to watch it at home or go somewhere where they don't normally go.
So just explain, what had changed then? What could you do before? What were they saying you wouldn't have been able to do had they not changed it again?
Well, basically, what you had, I think it was by the 26th of June, I basically was a bit savvy. I had a look where we would go if we came first and second. There was two games. It would have been a midnight one on Thursday night, this coming Thursday, or the 1 a.m. on a Monday. And all you had to do was just apply for a temporary event notice. So to be honest, there is a system there for it. And I applied, and I had a phone call from the local licensing, put a couple of conditions in, and no problem, you can open. Right. If we progress. But obviously a lot of pubs didn't have that understanding of what they needed to do. But I think this is much, much better, because my worry then was, well, I might be the only pub in the area open, and I'm going to be bombarded with hundreds of thousands of people who don't normally come to my pub. So I believe this is a much better thing for the customer, and a much better thing for the pubs themselves.
That's Simon Delaney at the Furbank pub in Wythenshawe. Now, as for the game itself, England will be making their first visit to Mexico City Azteca Stadium since they were knocked out of the '86 World Cup final by Argentina. And they will face challenges on and off the pitch. Matt, who's a Five Alive listener, has lived in Mexico City for 15 years and says the momentum for the tournament is growing.
It's huge. And you're really noticing it now during the World Cup. I think the fact that Mexico is one of the hosts has really made a difference. And people are just all in on the games, and especially it's the after parties, which have been absolutely huge here.
Yeah,
you go out onto the street and it's absolutely manic.
The Azteca itself as well is a very special place, isn't it? People may remember 1986, certain hand of God, but also the greatest World Cup goal ever scored by a certain Maradona. The fact that Mexico have lost, 2 games in 550 years or whatever it is there's something very special about that place.
It's amazing. I mean, I've had the chance to go there, unfortunately, not for the World Cup, because it's ticket prices are just absolutely mad. But I've been on other occasions, and to be there and feel that you're in the same place as where that took place in '86 is absolutely incredible. I've actually been on the pitch itself for a concert as well.
Have you? Right.
So actually being on the pitch is something really electric, definitely, and the atmosphere. I've only seen it on the TV, but on the local TV here, you really hear the sound of the fans. I mean, I don't think it would be anything that England players will have faced, and the England fans who do manage to get there, I mean, they're in for an absolute treat.
That is the 5 Live listener, Matt, that's been in Mexico for 15 years in Mexico City. Now, we'll conclude our update with some news of a historical discovery, which is blowing the minds of many people in America, especially ahead of tomorrow's 250th anniversary of the United States Declaration of Independence. A previously unknown copy of the Declaration has been discovered right here in the UK in the National Archives in Kew. Previously, only 10 copies printed in New Hampshire back in 1776 were known to have survived, and they were all in America. This 11th copy was taken from an American ship, the Dalton, captured by the British during the Revolutionary War, and it's been sitting in storage ever since. Just before I came on air, I spoke to Bethany Groff-Doru from the Museum of Old Newbury in Massachusetts, which is where the Dalton sailed from.
So the Declaration of Independence was the culmination of many, many years of back and forth on whether or not we in the colonies were trying to get a better deal from, as British citizens and remain within that framework, or whether we were actually going to become an independent country. And the Declaration of Independence was really the no going back moment where we, as colonists, decided that we were throwing off that relationship entirely. It was a very big deal.
Yeah, yes, an understatement. So why is this so significant, Bethany? Because we're not obviously talking about an original signed copy here, are we? We're just talking about copies of that Declaration of Independence, which I guess many people would think, well, there must have been loads of copies made.
Well, I mean, I think, as a historian, there is nothing like seeing something that was in the hands of someone that was there at the time, right? So even if it is a copy, that copy by itself, that document lived this incredible life. Presumably it left Newburyport with, men whose houses are right outside my window here in Newburyport, and who carried this with them, to where they were captured. It was with them as they were chased by the, HMS Reasonable and captured, and it was taken off the vessel. I mean, if you think about what that piece of paper went through, in a way, could be any piece of paper, it would still be incredibly special. But the fact is that having that document with them, I think, really reminded the mariners on board, who were from this fairly small little port town in Massachusetts, why they were risking everything to put themselves out there. And I think that's pretty powerful.
That's Bethany Groff-Doru. And that's it from me. Thanks for your company. Thanks for the team as ever tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night. Time to head back to the Toronto Stadium for the second half of Portugal against Croatia with Matt Upton and Jonathan Pearce.
Thank you very much, Johnny. The battle of the golden oldies here hasn't given us many golden moments. It has given us some disturbing images of a Cristiano Ronaldo, the first man ever to play in a FIFA World Cup knockout match after his 41st birthday, simply not being able to get into decent positions because the legs won't do what the brain wants him to do. Luka Modric, not the influential individual of yesteryear, but the Croatian lineup throughout is an old team. The starting average age, 30 years and 100 days, the oldest for a non-group match of the World Cup since they themselves played in the third place final in 1998. Two tired-looking teams out there. We have the countdown to the start of the second half. We have Portugal with the aquamarine pattern tops and white shorts kicking from right to left. Then in this second half against Croatia, all in blue. And there has been a substitution for Croatia, and Igor Matanov has come on to replace Budimir up front. It's like for like. The one main difference is Mantanovic is 6'5", but Nuno Mendes is in the box for Portugal, trying to square ball to Ronaldo, dropped in short, wasn't a good pass to Ronaldo. And you just, if this is going to be his last game, as it seems, just wish something will fall to him, because whatever you think of him, he's been one of the greatest players the game of football's ever known.
Absolutely. What he's given, you know, what he's shown over that period of time, the greatness that has been produced in many, many massive moments. I mean, yeah, it's quite difficult sometimes to watch him play kind of in this way, because you just picture him, the Ronaldo that you want to remember, that you want to see. And like you say, he's still got all the awareness, the touch, and he can still impact the game. He can, you know, he can finish. He's shown that in this tournament, and he will score some goals. It's just whether or not he's going to impact this game in the way that they want him to. I mean, he may well do, but at the moment, he's found it hard to really move those two centre-backs and really pull them out of position.
Evening light draws on in Toronto. Croatia have it over the halfway line. The ball is spread out wide. This is a good chance here now. The Vlasic cross back into the middle. Not particularly good, and it's going to be blocked and cleared away. In fact, it was Purists with the cross. They still have possession. Far side of the penalty area then. The left-hand side, the stab cross comes in, that's easily blocked from Martin Baturina, and will be cleared away to Luka Modric, 20 yards outside the penalty area. Creeps forward 4 or 5 yards. Finds Baturina on that left-hand side. Now plays his football at Como, which is a developing story. Watch that one over the next 18 months. Big plans for Como, big players involved. Not a big moment here for Croatia. They've conceded possession. Bruno Fernandes, a little patch of sunlight between the shaded areas of the pitch on the far side. A little V of sunlight it is. Croatia have it back again towards the edge of the penalty, looking for Matanovic. It's into the box here. Danger for Portugal, and it's side netting. It was a real opportunity for Mateo Kovacic, who bundled his way through in there, bored his way through a hole in the Portuguese defence and shot wide.
Wow, it's just a massive chance, to be honest. Best chance of the game for me. Kovacic gets on there. He's stumbling onto the ball. He gets a whack or an elbow from Ruben Diaz in the kind of right-hand side of his stomach. He loses his footing a little bit, but I think that really puts him off the chance, and he's laying on the floor holding his stomach, and I can see where the elbow just hits him before he takes the shot. I mean, it hits the goalkeeper's leg and goes wide. It's the best chance of the game for Croatia, easily, and it was all born, for me, out of the substitute Matanovic coming on and just physically being a nuisance and getting hold of the ball.
Croatia have a corner kick. Luka Modric will take it. I think this is their first corner, is it? Modric will take it. There's 3 stacked on the far side of the penalty area, beyond the penalty spot. Perisic is in there as well. It's played in short. Wide to Modric again. Thinks about a right foot cross. Gets it in now. Arcs it in. Brought down by Rafael Leao. Poor clearance it was, and a snapshot on the turn goes wide by Nikola Vlasic. I'll run you through the two teams. Portugal with Diogo Costa in goal of Porto. João Cancelo is the right back. Ruben Diaz of Manchester. Renato Veiga of Villarreal. Nuno Mendes on the left-hand side has played well. And your two holders in midfield are João Neves and Vitinha. The wide player on the right is Pedro Neto. On the left is Rafael Leao. He's been bright in burst, but had the chance to beat defenders countless times in his check back. Bruno Fernandes often gets beyond Cristiano Ronaldo, and he is the main front runner for Portugal, although I use that phrase quite loosely. He'll go on and score a hat-trick now, because that's what he is, that's who he is. But Croatia have possession of Purists, who's trundling through the midfield, looks to his left-hand side. Matanovic was there in support. Again, they're crowded out, and Portugal will look to bring it away with Bruno Fernandes.
It's a much more adventurous start to the second half from Croatia, though, isn't it? It looks like they're going to really try and make more of a game of it in this second half. Really happy to sit off and just let Portugal have the ball first 45 minutes, but there's been a couple of surges already to show that they've, you know, the full-backs and the midfield players are going to get a little bit further forward in this second half.
Croatia have possession back inside their own penalty area. They have Dominik Livakovic in goal. Then about 4, Stanisic, Šutalo, Pongracic and Perisic. A break off because Portugal are attacking. Again, it's a disappointing end product from Leao. He just looked lackadaisical in there. The two holders in midfield are Modric and Kovacic for Croatia. Then Vlasic is on the right-hand side, Susic and Baturina, with Matanovic now the substitute, who is on the field of play at half-time.
He looks very physical, doesn't he? Matanovic, the way he started this second half, putting his weight around, made a couple of fouls, but being really dominant to win the ball, to create the Kovacic chance, which is possibly the best chance of the game.
Croatia have the goal away to our left-hand side, but it's Portugal in possession. Vitinha nudges it to the left touchline. Rafael Leao to Vitinha, spins 360 degrees, siphons it back to his centre-half, the tall, commanding figure of Ruben Diaz. Another 33 games for Manchester City, second in the table, couple of cups for them, change of manager. Big season ahead. Bruno Fernandes from across the city at United. Back it goes then to Diaz, still 0-0 on 5 Live. What a game we saw earlier on, a commanding performance by Spain as they beat Austria 3-0. 2 goals for Oyarzábal and Porro getting the other. It doesn't tell the story of the game. They were breathtaking at times. It was the sort of football you wish to see at a World Cup.
Yeah.
We haven't seen enough of it at this World Cup, have we?
No, I agree. I agree in terms of the levels. I mean, it stood out a mile because their intelligence and thought and movement was at such a high level. I agree. It was great to watch.
Crisp passing at speed. It's just
simple,
breathtaking, though, isn't it?
Executed to a top level.
0-0 here on 5 Live and BBC Sound. 52 minutes gone for the right to meet Spain in the 16 in Dallas on Monday.
Judging by the first half and the look of these two teams, JP, you don't fancy either one of them in that fixture, do you, really? With the way Spain are playing, I think it's going to be a big ask for Croatia or Portugal.
They're really beginning to wake up, Spain, as Croatia nudge it wide to Vlasic, right-hand corner of the penalty areas. He will see it in support of Stanisic. In comes the cross, it's partially cleared away, comes out to Perisic, and Croatia lead. One of the old men in the team scores at another major finals. He scored in 6 of his 9 major finals. The remarkable Ivan Perisic.
And it has been coming, absolutely no doubt. We spoke half-time off-air about how this game's feeling, and you felt that Portugal had so much of the ball in the first half and did very little. It's just primed for Croatia to step it up a notch, come out a little bit. They've been sat in there, happy to soak up the pressure. And already on 2 or 3 occasions in the second half, they've shown they're willing to get forward in the box, and it's exactly what they do here. They hold up the ball, they put it wide. The cross comes in from Stanisic on his right foot. It drifts to the back post, and he has a couple of touches, Perisic. Portugal will not be happy that he's got this much time in the box to bring it down. The ball's bouncing, he has another touch to set himself. Cancelo's nowhere near him, and he just gets his head down on that trusty left foot of his. The contact's good, it's low, it's through the legs of Cancelo and just across the other leg of the goalkeeper into the bottom corner, and Croatia are looking right in control of this game now.
He scored at a 4th World Cup Finals tournament. And now Portugal have big decisions to make. Roberto Martinez down there on the touchline, trying to get some instruction out to his team. He's under pressure back at home, that's for sure, over the whole Ronaldo business. Is he offering enough for his team, Cristiano Ronaldo? Whatever the legacy, whatever the pedigree, the 145 goals and 231 internationals and Ballon d'Ors and everything else, is he doing enough for the
Is that
team?
a big feeling in Portugal, though, Jonathan? Would you say that the Portuguese fans feel like that? Because that's quite a big thing, isn't it, for a player that they've just idolised for decades?
That's absolutely true, but when the news broke earlier this evening, this social media news that he could be stepping away from international football, reportedly his sister has announced that, I noted a lot of the social media messages were like, it's about time.
Yeah.
It should have gone beforehand, etc., etc. So whether that's just an angry few and he's still got the majority of supporters, I don't know. He'll still have his idol, especially in Madeira, where he started off in trying circumstances, and his aim was to be the best footballer on the planet, and he's worked all his life for that. And England, Croatia again, it's a good ball wide towards Vlasic, and Portugal are rocking in the World Cup finals of 2026, and Vlasic is in on goal, and the flag momentarily stays down. It's turned into the 6-yard area. Now the flag goes up to deny Igor Matanovic Croatia's second goal.
Well, he's been a difference for me. Matanovic, the substitution, has been pivotal. He was a real nuisance in the middle of the box in the goal, didn't allow Ruben Diaz to clear the ball, and again he wins the ball here. He's clearly offside from Vlasic as he gets slipped in. He's a good yard or two offside, but they're a different team. Croatia come out of the second half and really trying to take the game to Portugal and look a threat moving forwards. Kovacic making some nice passes, and as I've already mentioned, a substitute who's come on at half-time, hugely impacting the game.
He had a sluggish start when he moved from Eintracht Frankfurt last summer to Freiburg, and then a brilliant second half of the season. He ended up with 15 goals. He put it in the Europa League final against Aston Villa. He started 24 of their last 28 games. He's come into these finals in brimful of form, Igor Matanovic, and he's a big one up there. He's 6'5".
Yeah, he's a handful. We're really going to see the character and spirit of this Portuguese team now.
Leao, what an effort off the bar! Partially cleared away. Pedro Neto couldn't get to the rebound. Well, that's the best we've seen from Portugal, especially Rafael Leao.
What a moment. Top piece of skill. And it's not over just about now. The ball safely in the hands of Livakovic, but what a flash of brilliance, cutting inside onto his right foot there, Leao, and he bends one. Aimed for the postage stamp, wasn't it? Just off the crossbar. He was heading in the top corner. Fraction away.
Croatia one up against Portugal for the right to play Spain. And Croatia clear up to the halfway line. And Baturina picks it up and runs. And he's got options either side, and he finds Perisic on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Onto his right foot, shoots. It's blocked by Diogo Costa. And they're all over them at the moment.
I mean, why is Cancelo going in to defend this 1v1 and putting his hands behind his back, worried about the handball, as we're watching a replay of the effort from Leao that dipped onto the crossbar? I mean, it had everything, a bit of swerve, but it had a lovely bit of dip as well, the right foot effort. Very nearly under the crossbar, but I'm looking at Cancelo there, Jonathan, and I know you don't want to give a handball away, but you can't go into a 1v1 when you're trying to put the brakes on and adjust your position with your hands behind your back. You're never going to make it.
Baturina's having a good game now. Right foot low grubber across to the edge of the penalty area. It's worked away by Portugal. Modric heads it back to the edge of the box. Matanovic brings it down, couldn't control, and there's a foul. Modric has clipped Vitinha and gets a caution for his troubles.
Yeah, it was deliberate, wasn't it? I think the referee right on top of it. It was a blatant trip or a foul from Modric. You know, no malice or nothing physical about it, but just right under the nose of the referee, trying to break up the play. Trips Vitinha, picks up a yellow card.
Some big decisions in the last 24 hours in these World Cup finals. The Tri-Nation World Cup finals. Is Croatia going to make 3 substitution changes, maybe? Portugal, I beg your pardon, are going to make 3 changes. Nelson Semedo is jiggling on the touchline, about to come on for them. To 3 of the 4 coming on there. Francisco Conceição is going to come off. 4.
There's 4.
Bernardo Silva's going to come on.
Yeah, Ramos.
And Gonçalo Ramos. Well. He's throwing caution to the wind. As the great cliche goes. Ball up to the edge of the penalty. Oh my goodness me! It's 1-1. But I don't think it's going to count. And he rolled back the ears. And he was about to scream, I'm back, I'm back. As the ball floated forward to him, he brought it down in one majestic moment and flicked it beyond the goalkeeper with the next. but he's been caught by a flag, and this is really tight.
Ooh, I'm not sure. I am not sure, and he knows how tight it is. I mean, he stopped the celebration because he looked over his shoulder, didn't finish the full Ronaldo jump. But I actually, looking at it, I think the foot of Sutalo could be playing him onside. It's the lean of Ronaldo. It's always a tricky one when you see the lean, because you've got to know what body part you're going to take the line off. And I think the left foot of the centre-back could well be playing him on. It's going to be exceptionally tight.
So over the check's over, free kick for offside.
Wow.
Well, we didn't have the U to go with the Sue.
Yeah.
The celebrations stunted, but it was just to see that moment was marvellous.
It was top, wasn't it? The touch, the way he's adjusted in the finish was so clever. Best piece of quality we've seen out of Ronaldo all game. It was brilliant.
Well, here come all the substitutions for Portugal. And this is a real risk to take this early in the day, and we'll wait and see. Oh, Vitinha's going off. Bernardo Silva is on. And we're waiting to hit, you know what we're waiting for, to see if Ronaldo stays on.
If Ramos is coming on, you think that would be the change. Conceição is on. Just having a look at the replay here, or the automated offside, and it is just the shoulder lean of Ronaldo that plays him offside. I mean, I thought the left foot of the centre-back had done the job, but when you see it with that line in the little graphic that you get, you can see the left shoulder of Ronaldo just a fraction too early.
He stayed on. Bruno Fernandes was one of the other players who've gone off for Portugal. Vitinha's gone off. Well, he's taking a chance here. Here's Roberto Martinez, because he will be absolutely slaughtered if this doesn't come off for him. Gonçalo Ramos for Cancelo, Francisco Conceição for Pedro Neto, Nelson Semedo for Bruno Fernandes, and Bernardo Silva for Vitinha. They've got a corner kick on their right-hand side. The referee's just holding it up for a moment time to take Vitinha and Bruno Fernandes off. What do you make of that?
Unbelievable, to be honest. And I think, yeah. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see.
In comes a corner to the far post. Rafael Leao stretched for it, couldn't make definitive touch, and it slips wide. And another moment comes and goes for Portugal, trailing 1-0 on 5 Live.
Well, this game's really hotting up, I have to say. It's been a slow burner, but we're now getting into the business part of the action, and you can tell that there's a little bit more on it from both teams. I think they're having a little look at a bit of a dodgy piece of defending there from Vlasic. On Vega wasn't particularly good the way he went about that set play, had his arms all over the back of him.
It's heating up, that's for sure.
Ronaldo's having some kind of big appeal here at the moment.
That is some gamble to take substitutions, 4 of them on 62 minutes.
So will Ronaldo drop a little bit deeper now, you would feel, or Ramos? I mean, it's interesting to see how this Portugal lineup's going to work. I think they're looking at this challenge with Vlasic on Vega, and whether or not it constitutes a foul. I mean, it's not great, is it?
He's going to go to the screen. I think he's going to give it.
Yeah, this is going to be given.
He seemed to be falling, didn't he?
Well,
as he caught him.
It's a rugby tackle, isn't it? He gets the wrong side, Vlasic, and Vega has the drop on him, and then the left arm is cut round his waist. He falls down, he's on the back of him. It's not a great look, I have to say. And when you look at what the remit is for these kind of fouls, you'd have to say it ticks a lot of boxes, and I can understand why he's been sent to the screen here, because he affects him heading the ball, I think that the fact that the ball is dropping right into that zone, and if he's not impacted here, Vega, I think he's got a big chance of heading that. And he's really held back by Vlasic. He's going to give this as a penalty.
Yeah. Out comes Espen Eskas, the Norwegian referee. Let's hear him.
After review, Croatia player number 13 holds his opponent with 2 arms with clear impact. Final decision, penalty.
That's the right call.
It's clear, it's clear.
I think he's made the right call there. It's always difficult to judge those, but VAR, and I think VAR has stepped in generally on the right occasions in this tournament so far. And I think it's made a good call there.
Well, Ronaldo's brace against Uzbekistan, the only non-penalty goals in his past 14 games at major tournaments. He's not scored a World Cup knockout goal, but he will take the penalty as he looks for goal 146 in one of the most remarkable careers footballers ever known. He has scored 4 of his last 5, hit the post with one of them. I think he went left that time. He pauses, he exhales the breaths, he says a little prayer, flicks his tongue out over his lips, stands in the Ronaldo style, legs slightly spread, arms down by the side, puffs out again. Ronaldo to draw level, stutters in the run-up, and scores! 1-1.
And there we see the finished celebration. He had to cut the last one short, knowing it was offside, but that one there is fully executed, and all his teammates pile on for a massive celebration. And what a cool penalty, by the way, because there's a lot of pressure on him at that point. Doesn't matter how old you are or how many World Cups you've played in, you're sitting in front of that goal with just you and the ball and the goalkeeper, and you know you've got to keep your team in the competition, and he just doesn't panic. The goalkeeper does brilliantly, he doesn't move. It's a slower run up to the ball, he's waiting to see the goalkeeper move. There's a little bit of cat and mouse, and then he just coolly slots it straight, waits for the goalkeeper's body weight to go, and bangs it right-footed right down the middle. It's a really cool penalty, I have to say, and a big one for Portugal, who had started this second half were looking really poor.
Croatia have made a change. Pasalic has come on for Bacharina. He said a little, he kissed the ball there, Ronaldo, having taken the penalty, and looked to the skies. And it's 1-1. And it's anyone's game. And I'll tell you what, the coach of Portugal, Roberto Martinez, will say, yes, I gambled with the 4 substitutes. And within, 6 minutes, they were level in the game. Ronaldo milks the applause, of course.
And to leave him on the pitch, by the way, that was a big call.
They go into a hydration break.
Because that could have gone very wrong, I have to say, and you leave the man on the pitch that takes the penalty, has got the front to take the penalty and score. I think Martinez will be feeling very good about those decisions at this moment in time. It's not over yet, but Portugal back in this game.
He scored his 11th goal in the FIFA World Cup, his first in the knockout phase. Ivan Perisic, by the way, the oldest goal scorer for Croatia in the FIFA World Cup, 37 years and 150 days. Remember Ante Budimir? He was the oldest, and he scored against Panama earlier in the tournament. Remember that goal? Just a few days ago. 34 years and 336 days old. They are the golden oldies. He's the first Croatian to score in 4 different World Cups, Ivan Perisic. And he's their outright top goal scorer in FIFA World Cup history, moving clear of Davor Šuker, who has scored 6. Ronaldo 1 in 2006 and 10 and 14 and 4 in World Cup 18.
Let's just look at the replay again of the penalty. He waits, he waits, he waits. He's stepping up to the ball. It's just one of those moments where the moment the goalkeeper's body weight just shifts to the right-hand side, and you can see he's moving. He then knows it's the green light just to smash it down the middle. Cool penalty. The goalkeeper had just held a little bit longer. It had really forced his hand there, and then he's got to find a corner, and the goalkeeper has a chance to react and maybe save it, but he just lent, and Ronaldo did the rest.
He's got 6 World Cups. As he's 2 already in this competition, Cristiano Ronaldo. It took the weight off his shoulders. Looks a different man now than the man we saw in the tunnel beforehand.
Yeah. Well, happy to score in a knockout World Cup match. It's not that often he kind of ticks the first box. He's generally done it all, hasn't he, to be honest, but it must be a big one for him. And also to get Portugal back in this, such a strong squad of players, but they're not performing particularly well, and to go through to the next round for the game against Spain would be, what a match that would be.
In comes a long throw in from Perisic. Out to claim comes Diogo Costa. Sensational substitutions as well. Vitinha has had a magnificent World Cup. In a stuttering World Cup for Portugal. 270 passes completed before today, the most on record by any Portugal player in the group stage of a World Cup. Big gamble to take him off. Big gamble to take Bruno off. They have possession in the centre circle. 1 apiece on 5 Live from the BBC. And are they now beginning to dictate the pace? Here's Nelson Semedo. It's another brave decision to bring him on. Ruben Diaz. A real Manchester City field to the Portuguese side again now, as Marin Pongracic just settles to roll the ball out of play for Croatia. And momentarily, after the hiatus, we've just gone into a bit of a calm.
Yeah. A little bit of calm. Both sets of players just kind of regrouping, figuring out the strategy after a lot of action in the space of probably 10 minutes or so. Disallowed goals, all sorts going on, penalties, VAR reviews. It's been a big 10 minutes for the game.
Winners play Spain in Dallas on Monday at 8 o'clock. For Portugal, 2 Euro finals, 2 Euro semi-finals since 2000, just 1 World Cup in that time. They know they've underachieved in this, the biggest prize of them all. As the ball is sent out wide towards the left-hand side, where Rafael Leao has it. No way through for him over there. And Croatia will clear their lines. Modric still full of running, couldn't get there. Here's Bernardo Silva. And Modric just touches it out from just in front of his own penalty area. And to his left-hand side to win the ball was Pasalic. And the carry down the left, still full of running, is Ivan Perisic. What an athlete he is. He's 37 years of age.
He's a fit boy. I remember how fit he was in his prime. Do you remember?
Up and back, up and back.
That was the key part of that team.
This is a brilliant run. Oh, what a good effort that was. From the edge of the penalty area, it's a super effort from Kovacic. He comes back to him. He tries to slice that one, and the goalkeeper parries it up and over Diogo Costa. 2 magnificent efforts from Mateo Kovacic.
Well, 2 brilliant hits, but the first one, I mean, he loves a driving run, doesn't he? When he marauds with the ball, and he whips it with his right foot low. It's off the upright, it bounces on the ground. Goalkeeper's beaten, maybe just gets a tiny touch to that.
Yeah.
And then it gets headed back to him really nicely from Matanovic. And the shape on the right foot, it was an easier save for the goalkeeper there, but the first one, Really important touch onto the post.
Double save from Diogo Costa to deny Kovacic. Corner kick to Croatia, taken by Modric. Good game now. This is all flying in there, and the header goes wide.
Oh, they're shouting at him there. Who was that coming in behind? It was Matanovic that had the header, but I think maybe Perisic was coming in with real momentum onto the ball, wanted the header, and his teammate got in his way. Croatia really bouncing back after conceding.
Modric looks for Vlasic. When it goes to Kovacic, the golden oldie's beginning to turn it on for Croatia. Cross deflected through, comes through to the far post. Half an opportunity for Matanovic. Turns, shoots, goalkeeper came out. Blocks it again. Super game now. One apiece.
Oh, super feet from a big man. Not just a head on a stick in the box. He really can control the ball. Lovely little touch here and just shapes to shoot. Goes past Mendes and then onto his right foot. Goalkeeper comes out, Costa, and just narrows the angle and makes the save, but really good play again.
Here comes a cross from Stanisic. No, he pulls it back to Modric. Drove it in. It's blocked and cleared away. Cross it, Conceição. Still he goes on, Luka Modric, 40 years young. A remarkable footballer. All the trophies, all the work he's put in over the years. Remarkable. Here's Kovacic, so often his foil in that midfield area. Now it's Šutalo. Modric has come out wide to the right-hand side. It's 1-1 on 5 line. Can they get across in here decisively, Croatia? Stanisic, in it comes. It's blocked on the far side of the penalty area, and Croatia will clear it away. The ball spun out, then Portugal cleared away. The ball spun out to Rafael Leao. They can't bring it under control, and Croatia will come again. This is Modric. Swings the ball all the way through towards that far side. There he is again. Perisic. Look at that for a cross-in. Helped away by Nuno Mendes, but Portugal are tired as a team. Was that a foul? The referee says no, go on. And eventually it's cleared away deep inside that Croatian half, with the pink-clad goalkeeper Livakovic comes out and nudges it forward.
Yeah, they're just hanging on at the moment, Portugal, under right pressure. Croatia just sticking the ball in the box at every opportunity. They're getting it wide and just slinging it in there.
Masterful pass by Modric. Out wide to the left again. Perisic deep inside Portuguese territory. There's a glancing header away by Renato Veiga.
There's an important touch. He had Matanovic just behind him waiting for the header, and it was a good glance from Veiga.
I think Bernardo Silva might have been caught there, but the referee says go on. Rafael Leao has done just enough to win a throw-in for Portugal. Just about 5 yards from the halfway line, relieves some sort of pressure, because they're under the cosh a little bit here, but Croatia don't give them any time to relax. The throw-in's taken very quickly. And Bernardo Silva has it. Made in the opening game for 45 minutes. The second game as well, but he came off the bench. Not had his best World Cup. At the age of 31. Presumably his last, but then look what Modric is doing out there, beginning really to make them purr. And Roberto Martinez is about to make another substitution, I think. 1-1. Will this go to extra time in front of a crowd of more than 44,000 in Toronto on a hot night, as energy levels begin to drop?
It's hard to split the two teams at the moment, isn't it? I'd say Croatia have responded really well to conceding, and now look to be the team that are asking the most questions, and Portugal look a little bit leggy all of a sudden.
They're in here. This is a chance for Croatia, and it's buried. Perisic run from deep and tucked it in, but it won't count. He's been caught by a flag, and the joy was short-lived. He tucked it in brilliantly, didn't he, Matt?
Yeah, it did look offside. Initially, you felt it must be offside, and I think looking at the freeze, it's very similar to the Ronaldo one, in the sense that an attacking player with that lean I think his shoulder and that upper body side of his head is going to be offside. Very tight call again, though.
Well, Portugal are going to make a very, very, very big substitution. Ruben Neves comes on to replace Cristiano Ronaldo.
Look at his face.
Who looks absolutely crestfallen, baffled. He scored his first World Cup knockout stage goal today. He's already said that this will be his last World Cup. The manager pats him on the head. Ronaldo stalks beyond him and takes his place in the dugout. And is this the last we see of Cristiano Ronaldo, the great Cristiano Ronaldo, on the World Cup stage? He's patting the hands of his teammates in there as if they know something, but they've still got a game to win.
Yeah, I mean, there's every chance they can win it. But straight away, the shake of the head and the disappointment, he couldn't hide the disappointment in his face. And I think Martinez has made probably a sensible call in terms of just keeping Portugal fresh and in the game. And Ramos, who came on and was playing a little bit deeper in midfield, looking a little bit like a fish out of water, to be honest, is now high up the pitch in that number 9 position.
Off goes Cristiano Ronaldo as Croatia settle for a goal kick. Ronaldo, the oldest ever player to score in the knockout rounds of a FIFA World Cup at 41 years and 147 days. His 11th goal in the World Cup, his first in the knockout phase. And he sits in the dugout area and ponders as if he may well have played his last ever game, because I think the match momentum graphic shows that it swung Croatia's way quite dramatically.
It certainly feels like that. But when you look at the graphic on a whole, it's all over the place for the whole game. So, I mean, don't be surprised if this swings back Portugal's favour in the next 5 minutes or so.
Well, they've made 5 changes. They can, of course, if the game goes to extra time, as we push towards extra time now. You've had 82 minutes, nearly 83, and make another one. This is Bernardo Silva, the magnificent Bernardo Silva, another centurion. 112 games played for Portugal. Ruben Diaz, a mere stripling in comparison with the 78. Now Nelson Semedo. Portugal at walking pace. The ball played square across the centre circle to Renato Veiga, who thinks that a good World Cup, but that's not a good ball forward. And Josip Stanisic is back there. You're listening to 5 Live on the BBC. Another massive day of sport for you, with Switzerland, Algeria to follow at 4 o'clock. Australia, Egypt later this evening. Argentina, Cape Verde, and Dennis and James McFadden there. And the football continues over the weekend. 2:30 in the morning. Colombia, Ghana, that's Sunday morning. Here's Nelson Semedo back inside his own, deep inside his own, off 2 yards from the dead ball, and in fact being pursued over there by the evergreen Ivan Perisic, turned away neatly.
Well, who do you think? I mean, is he one of the fittest players you've ever seen, Perisic? What an athlete he is.
He's unbelievable, isn't he?
Yeah.
Tremendous good turn from him. Now it's out wide to... Now in comes his cross into the penalty area all the way through. And out of play for a goal kick. It wouldn't quite come their way.
I didn't fancy Conceição arriving at the back post with a towering header. That's not really his forte. I think Portugal probably at the moment, after getting back in the game and then Croatia having this surge again of applying pressure, will be quite happy to see this to full-time regroup side of the pitch and then go about how they're going to execute their extra time plan.
Croatia all in blue, have the ball inside their own half. Strong performance by Kovacic, gives it up to the halfway line. Mario Pasalic. Croatia all in blue, and Portugal with this sort of hybrid kit of aquamarine, if you like, and white shorts. Back it goes to their goalkeeper, Diogo Costa, plays out to feet, and the ball is brought under control. Bernardo Silva wanted it, but it's nudged back to Renato Veiga. Veiga into the centre circle, and Bernardo Silva, will-o'-the-wisp player, low centre of gravity, pushes it back, and that's not wrong by Conceição over the top. Flag stays down. Chance here then for Portugal. The cross came in, and it's deflected away for a corner kick on that far side. And that was an opportunity. That was Conceição inside the penalty area.
Yeah, super pass there. I didn't quite see who hit the pass out to him, but great vision. Just dropped it over the Croatian left-back position, right into the little tricky winger, and he loves coming into the box from that kind of angle, is where he's most dangerous, and he tries to flick it inside, but Croatian midfield player, I think it might be Modric, actually just got back and blocked that avenue, has put it out for a corner.
Corner kick to Portugal. Time is ticking down. He'll come curling into the penalty area here, towards the far post. There it is, hit it down and hit it wide by Renato Veiga.
Well, the player that was fouled for the penalty has got good movement in the box. Really does lose his marker and then gets up well. He just can't get enough contact on the ball, but he is a threat from corners, no doubt.
6'4", should score more goals. So Portugal has the one. Came in a friendly against Armenia in this last season. 1-1 on five line.
Yeah, certainly looks like he could score more, doesn't he? The way he attacks it, just not getting the contact. Had a good one first half, but he should have scored as well, actually. One of the earliest corners in the game.
3 of the last 11, last 32 ties have gone to extra time. Croatia in possession in their own half. And Sušić. Back it goes to the goalkeeper, Livakovic. Takes his time. Now to the left-hand side. And Croatia down to walking pace, as if they're thinking, we'll take this to extra time. Who would be the fitter team? Driving out from the back is Šutalo. Now Modric, remarkably still performing at a high level here. Started his World Cup quietly. Definitely chips it forward right foot. That's a proper Modric pass. Lovely ball forward there. Here's Sušić. Chips it into the penalty area. Far side! Oh, it's a header wide. Big chance for Mario Pasalic coming in.
And super football as well, I have to say. The pass from Modric, the touch was absolutely sublime from Sušić. And then the left foot cross in, and how on earth has that not gone in the back of the net? I just gets all the contact on it. It's a little bit crowded, but you'd fancy that to be him. When the moment I saw him arriving there, I thought any kind of contact here is going to be in the back of the net, but he just hits it too full on. Puts it wide all the way back across the goal. What a great chance, but top quality football.
A terrific season, Sušić, double winner with Inter. Pillar of the new Inter era, Kosanecki said a while ago. And Portugal look to build from the back. 1-1. Are we heading for extra time on 5 Live? It certainly seems so. We're into the last minute of play. Long ball down the right-hand side for Portugal. Should be cut out back there by Pongracic of Croatia to his goalkeeper, Livakovic. Chips it to Pongracic, the far side, the Fiorentina player, long down that left-hand touchline. It'll come loose for Portugal, and Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva, I should say, scuttling back there. Remarkable career he's had. 2 more winners' medals this season for Manchester City, League Cup and FA Cup. Champions League winner for them, 460 games for them. Premier League winner 5 times, FA Cup winner 3 times. Been one heck of a player. There's Ruben Diaz, his teammate on so many occasions. Back then towards the bushy-haired Renato Veiga. Opens his body up, angles it wide to Rafael Leao. He's had a curate's egg of a display so far. One moment you think he's going to do something, and then it's nothing comes of it. He's on the ball again here, Matt.
That is him, isn't it? and then rattles one against the crossbar, nearly puts it in the top corner. I mean, that does explain him quite well as a player.
10 minutes of stoppage time. Corner kick here. They're just announcing it now.
That's a long time.
I think the crowd will stir with that noise. That news, I should say. It's like a big crowd.
It's like going straight into extra time, isn't it?
Corner kick for Portugal on their left. João Neves, short hair, pink boots, short sleeves, right-footed into the edge of the 6-yard area, headed away from goal. It's Ruben Diaz facing away from goal and made contact and headed it wide of that far post, and it stays one apiece.
When you think of all the games you've seen where it's got to this phase and then there's 10 minutes left, there's always one massive chance, isn't there? Always. In these kind of games, and who's it going to drop to? Are they going to be able to take it? Because legs are tired, the mind gets tired, little misjudgments start to creep in, and you'd fancy there to be one more big chance in this game before the normal time is up.
Oscar Gvardiol of Manchester City has come on to replace Vlasic as we go deep into stoppage time now. Out for such a while with a broken leg, came back to fitness tail end of May. Started the first 2 games for them, came off the bench for 3 minutes in the last game, comes off the bench again. There was speculation that he would start this match. Replaces Vlasic. What's the message in that substitution, I wonder, Matt? Well, we'll come to you in a moment, because this is Mendes into the penalty area, goes down. There's a look to the referee. He's waved away any protests.
He was quick to wave that away as well. I think there's a little bit of a tangle of legs, but nothing more than that.
Conceição for Portugal, the Juventus player. One apiece on 5 Live. Another dramatic day of World Cup action for you. Going to be more changes, I think. Ronaldo is stood on the touchline. Hasn't put a tracksuit top on or anything. In that familiar stance he has. What do they call it? The Sioux stance. Just waiting with the other substitutes around him and the posse of Portuguese substitutes who will remain unused for the moment. Ruben Diaz, back then to Renato Veiga. Veiga to the left touchline, halfway inside the Croatia half. It's chipped into the box. Oh, it's a great goal! It's a fantastic cross into the middle, and a magnificent header in by Gonzalo Ramos. The man brought on for Cristiano Ronaldo, and he's the man who gets the goal. And the big decision was made by the Portuguese manager, and Roberto Martinez got it absolutely right.
Wow, what a header that is. If this goal ends up winning the match, it's just a brilliant piece of centre-forward play. Yes, the ball in is good, but Ramos glances this ball home brilliantly. It's out wide on the left with Leao, who's been doing loads of little tricks and step-overs and flicks, and I think Stanisic just gives him a little bit too much space, not thinking he's going to cross it. Well, he whips it in, and Ramos has 3 defenders around him, Gvardiol coming in the back of him, and neither one of the Croatian defenders really jumps or leaps to attack the ball, but Ramos does, and he gets the touch and glances it right into the corner of the goal. Brilliant header.
Brought on to get them into the next round. Brought on for the big man, who got his goal from the penalty spot. But Ramos, who got that wonderful hat-trick in World Cup 22 against Switzerland, has given Portugal the lead in stoppage time. And Roberto Martinez shouts out instructions to his team to hold now.
I mean, so far he's had a decent game, Martinez, hasn't he? I mean, the substitutions he's made and the impact that had with the equaliser, leaving Ronaldo on, where I think A lot of people were thinking perhaps he should be coming off in that first real tranche of substitutions where he made 4 switches. And then to have Ramos and Ronaldo on, I think a few people were umming and ahhing. But at the moment, it's played out pretty well. And then to take Ronaldo off at the right time, get Ramos higher up the pitch, which is where he's most effective, well, that really has paid off.
Kramaric has come on for Croatia. Andrej Kramaric, 36 goals he's scored for them in the past, needs one now. That's cleared away by Veiga for Portugal. Clears it up towards the halfway line. Portugal lead by 2-1. Time is growing short for Croatia. We've had 6 minutes of the 10 minutes of stoppage time. There was a little bit of a kerfuffle down on the near touchline. A pitch invader made a beeline for Ronaldo, who already off. He was with the Portuguese substitutes. He was hustled away. And now here come Croatia again. Can they get the ball into the box? And a good game has Petar Susic. In comes across from that left-hand side, Perisic. And the far post is headed back in the middle. Great leap there. Renato Veiga got his head to it. That was a fantastic leap. Was that Kramaric who got the header in there?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was Kramaric who headed it back across, got up really well. And Croatia are going to have to just do that now. They've got a few minutes left. Every time it's wide, they've just got to get it wide and just sling the ball in the box. They've got so many bodies in there.
Yeah, Conceição took a chance there. He wriggled back inside his own half, delivered it back to his back line now. Portugal clear to the right-hand side. Might have been Bernardo Silva, actually, with a little wriggly run. He's now in the centre circle. All in yellow. Diogo Costa of Porto and Portugal, born in Switzerland. Loops the clearance away, and the referee's put a yellow card here because there was a late challenge off the ball by Ivan Perisic. And he just caught Ruben Diaz.
Well, it's playing right into Portugal's hand, killing the momentum. I think it's just an off-the-ball bit of a shove. Ruben Diaz falls on the floor, which is poor from him because it's not an impactful shove from Perisic, and he gets him booked really and manages to just break the game up and slow it all down. I mean, the look on Ronaldo's face on the bench is quite amazing. He can't hide his smile, knowing that at the moment he could well be starting in another knockout game in the World Cup. I mean, he just looks almost like a young boy again, hoping to play his, his first game in the World Cup. He's got his whole facial expression and look in his eyes has completely changed.
It's leaked on social media today that this could be it for Cristiano Ronaldo. Had they gone today, this will be his last World Cup. He has 11 goals for Portugal, their record scorer in World Cups. Eusebio has 9, and now Gonçalo Ramos is third in the list with his 4. And it's going to be a corner kick for Croatia as time ticks down with the 9th minute of stoppage time.
This is big. Big moment. This delivery has to be good.
Modric with it, edge of the 6-yard area. It's loose, it's a scramble, it's a goal kick. I think the referee has been top-notch.
Yeah, he's been decisive just there. Got in a good position, saw the final touch and straight for the goal kick signalling. He's had good control of the game, the referee.
Diogo Costa wants movement from his team as he prepares to deliver this goal kick. It will be one of the last goal kicks of the game because we're in the last minute. And it's ballooned out towards the near touchline to us. Just in the air there by Gonçalo Ramos. It'll be a throw into Croatia, and they're in a hurry to get on with it. Stanisic with it. Up then to the edge of his penalty area. Šutalo to the goalkeeper, Livakovic. Went to World Cup 18, didn't play. Went to World Cup 22, was a penalty kick saviour. A remarkable penalty kick saviour in that tournament. Will he play another game in this World Cup? Well, Modric's international career end right here. Playing career, perhaps. He's unattached now. There's Croatia look to build on the far side with Andrej Kramaric. Rolled back almost to the halfway line and Šutalo.
They've got to get it in the box, haven't they? And running out of time.
In comes the ball to penalty area, looking for Modric. Oh, there's a chance taken there. Goodness me. Right. It's a goal kick. One of the Portuguese defenders just stepped over the ball to let it run on.
He couldn't have been that confident it was going to run out of play. Didn't have a lot of legs on the ball, did it? Is it Bernardo Silva? Again, making that judgment. Wow.
We've had 10 minutes of stoppage time. And has the goal by Gonçalo Ramos. Put Portugal into the last 16. And will it extend the international career of Cristiano Ronaldo? Will he get one more last hurrah? On we go still. The agony is there for the Portuguese fans as they have to wait for the final whistle to go. And this is Nelson Semedo on that far side. Dropped to the feet of Conceição. Into the box, drives it wide.
Well, as long as the ball is in this area of the pitch, Portugal don't care. They're just trying to have the right territory, because the moment Croatia get it, they're just going to pump it forward.
Well, we saw before the game, when the picture went up of the late Diogo Jota on the big screens, how emotional Portugal were. As the cross comes in from Purists, it's gathered by the goalkeeper, Diogo Costa. On the first anniversary of Diogo Jota's tragic death. Portugal here will fittingly for him, in moments from now, take their place in the last 16, because surely there can't be much more left in this game. We've played 12 minutes now of the 10 minutes allotted, and still we go on. Modric fouled inside the centre circle. Referee says play on. So Croatia have it, still inside the centre circle. Can they move the ball quick enough now as it comes out to the right-hand touchline? They look to get the cross in. Pasalic it was. Back it goes, halfway line. Šutalo siphons it to his left to the tall figure of Pongracic. Wide left-hand touchline, and on we go. We've played 12 minutes and 24 seconds of the 10 minutes. In comes the cross. It's headed on. It's a chance for Croatia. It's bundled into the net. It might even be an own goal. It's celebrations for Croatia, that's for sure. It's 2-2. Absolutely sensational. 13 minutes into stoppage time. I don't have a clue who that went in off. But for Croatia fans, they don't care. And Ronaldo on the touchline can scarce believe it. It might have been Guardiola who was in there who got the touch, you know.
It was Guardiola. Definitely Guardiola, if it is a Croatian goal, because I'm with you. They stick it in the box. There's a flick, there's an offside here, because I think there's a glancing header. I mean, there's another touch before it then arrives at that player. In fact, the touch is off Vega, that drops down. I'm not too sure what's going to play out here, because on the initial flick, there's an offside at the far post, and then it hits Vega, comes back across the goal, and Gvardiol, at full stretch, sticks it in the back of the net. I mean, what a finish to this game. If it is allowed, I mean, how the game was just winding down. Portugal was seeing it out. It just wasn't on the cards. And they slung it into the box and may have saved the day.
They're checking for offside.
Yeah, it looked offside on that first touch.
As the ball came in.
Yeah. Because it's hard to see if it hit a Croatian head. It certainly hit Vega, but I think it's Matanovic with the initial glancing header onto Vega, and at that point, there's an offside.
Pasalic was in an offside position as it comes in. He then steered it square, and then
Gvardiol finishes
Gvardiol gets the last touch.
Yeah.
I thought it might have been a defender, but it was Gvardiol. We're seeing the replay.
Because it doesn't matter if there's another touch from Vega, does it? That initial glance means that the offside counts.
This is the referee now.
Croatia player number 20 touched the ball and headed to the goal scorer. Final decision, offside.
Won't count. It won't count. And Portugal will be through. No goal.
Look at Luka Modric. I mean, the shake of the head. He can't believe it. They're in tears, some of the Croatian players. Look at that. And the shift in body language and facial expression from Cristiano Ronaldo is significant.
And the Ballon d'Or winner of 2018, Luka Modric. Man who finished third in the World Cup. Man who was a beaten finalist in the World Cup. His career could end with this, Luka Modric. We'll see it again on a replay screen here.
Yeah,
he's definitely offside.
He's definitely offside, and there's a feeling here. I think the Portuguese players feel like they've really got away with one, which they have, no doubt about it. They didn't defend that delivery into the box well enough, but you can't deny it's offside.
I think it's all over in the mayhem that's going on. Players are still out on the pitch, but the referee's called it, I think. Well, I'm not too sure whether he has, you know.
I don't think he has.
There's a crowd of players around. The official, Diogo Costa's got the ball at his feet.
Don't think they've restarted yet. You know, the players are in heavy discussion here. Modric chatting to Bernardo Silva. Ronaldo's stalking up and down the touchline. There's a lot of players all over the technical area, and the referee just, I think, needs to restart the game, doesn't he?
Well, he'll restart it and finish. He will, 16 minutes of stoppage time.
Yeah.
And I think you saw Diogo Costa picking up a bottle.
I think they're all, it's almost like the players are just debriefing and analysing the decision, aren't they, amongst it themselves. But
he's not going to change his mind.
No, he can't change his mind. And there is a touch from Matanovic, who, by the way, what an impact he's had for Croatia. The centre forward has been brilliant in the second half.
Another plastic bottle was thrown out there, which could cost the Toronto Stadium dearly. Croatian fans absolutely irate, denied the last gasp equaliser. We've had 17.5 minutes of stoppage time.
What a roller coaster for them. You got that surge of emotion of a last-second equaliser, and then it's whisked away from you.
And Portugal are very nearly through. We're watching it again here.
Does he definitely touch that, Jonathan? I mean, they must have confirmed evidence that he does glance that. It's very hard to see in real time whether he touches it or not. They must have a better angle that maybe we haven't seen. Here we go. We're looking at a replay here. Can we guarantee he glances that? I tell you what, I actually cannot. I don't think the ball changes. The spin on the ball doesn't change. That's all I know. I don't think he touches that ball.
It's then glanced on by Vega, turned square by Paslic into the back of the net. That is massive.
That's the first angle I've seen of that. And I tell you what, I'm not convinced he touches that ball at all.
There will be
what a call.
Major ructions after this, I would imagine.
Incredible.
Is this a decision to allow Portugal to go on in the World Cup? Cynics will say Ronaldo will go on in the World Cup. I think that would be a harsh thing to say. But what I can say is the full-time whistle has gone, and we can see Cristiano Ronaldo pumping his fists. He allegedly has said today this is going to be it for him in international football. When they go out, that's the end of it for him. Might well be the end for Luka Modric, because his Croatian side have been beaten here by Ronaldo's Portugal, who had to come from behind to Perisic's over 8 minutes into the second half. Ronaldo from the spot level, and then Gonçalo Ramos, who replaced him, got a famous winner to take Portugal through. Portugal will play Spain in Dallas on Monday. An all-Iberian Peninsula affair. That will be sensational. I hope we haven't seen the end of Luka Modric. We may well have done, but Cristiano Ronaldo somehow goes on. Portugal have won this.
Well, controversial in my view, and unless VAR have been analysing an angle that we haven't had the privilege of seeing, but I think we've seen the best angle of that incident, and from what I can see, I don't see any change of direction of the ball, or what the telling thing is the spin on the ball doesn't change. And it looks like Matanovic has touched that ball. But it's interesting that they're saying beyond any reasonable doubt he has. I can't quite see that, and I can understand that Luka Modric, I mean, it was a long time to restart the game because he's not sure either, and this will be a hot topic.
Well, we were told today that this is the end of Ronaldo's international career, this World Cup. It looks as if Luka Modric will be departing the international stage earlier because the wonderful player from Zadar is out of the World Cup. Tears for Mateo Kovacic as well. Croatia controversially beaten. They've gone out to Portugal by 2-1.